Assignment 3 asks you to produce uh, two histograms, a histogram for male students and female students using the total scores from the SPSS data file. And this section 1 of the assignment also then asks you to visually examine those histograms and interpret the skewedness, the kurtosis, if there's any outliers, the symmetry of that distribution, and the modality. In other words, where the data is mostly located. And then for the second part, you're to calculate and interpret the measures of central tendency and dispersion for ID, gender, ethnicity, GPA, Quiz 3, and total. So let's go and look at the SPSS data file. See if I can close this out. Here it is. So your SPSS data file is the grade save data here. Now, one thing that we want to do prior to running this analysis is I want to go into variable view and I want to label the gender variable. And so I'm going to label that according to the description, the descriptive sheet that I put in the update and handouts. 1 is equal to female and 2 is equal to male. Okay, and then we'll go OK. Now, the reason I did that is because when we run the analysis, our graphs, our charts, our tables will be labeled with male and female rather than 1s and 2s. So then I'm going to go OK again. And then I'll go back to data view and I'm going to go to graphs. So this is where I'm going to create the histograms for males and females. And go to legacy dialogues and histogram. And then in the variable box, I'm going to put total. And in the rows, I'm going to put gender. Because what that's going to do is it's going to create a separate histogram for males and females for me. And so then I'll go OK. And so now you can see what the histogram for females looks like and for males looks like. Now I'm going to do one more analysis that really isn't part of the assignment, but I think will help you because if you look at my example report, I've provided this table for you and it's called the Explore analysis. And so I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, and then Explore. And in the dependent list, I'm going to put total, and in the factor list, I'm going to put gender. Gender is considered a factor because it's one variable, but it has two levels, male and female. And it will give us the statistics. We don't have to do anything with that. But with plots, what I would do is not get the box plots, uncheck stem and leaf, and check histogram, because the histogram we can check that histogram with the histogram that you just made, or we don't have to have it at all. But let's go continue and OK. And then as part of your output, you'll notice that for females, it gives you the mean, the median, the variance, the standard deviation, the values for skewedness and kurtosis, and the same way for males. It gives you the same data. Now, in order to interpret skewedness and kurtosis, you need to divide the standard error into the skewedness statistic or the kurtosis statistic. Any value that exceeds -2 or +2 is considered significantly skewed or has significant kurtosis. Remember, skewedness is how shifted the distribution is either to the right, or to the left. Kurtosis is how peaked the distribution is. Okay, for the second part of the analysis, you're asked to provide the measures of central tendency and dispersion for ID, gender, ethnicity, GPA, quiz 3, and total. So let's go back to the spreadsheet, and we're going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, and then Descriptives. And so we've got ID, we've got gender, we've got ethnicity. What was the other one? GPA, quiz 3, and total. GPA, quiz 3, and total. And so now what we're going to do is simply click on OK. And now, oh, I forgot to ask for some of the other statistics that we need. So let's just run that again. I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, Descriptives, and then Options. I want the variance, and I want the range, I want the kurtosis, and the skewedness. And so then I'm going to go Continue and OK. And you can see I get much more information than the first time because I forgot to check the boxes for skewedness and kurtosis. So this will help you to then write about and interpret the meaningful, the meaningless variables for part 2 of the analysis, and then the measures of central tendency and the measures of dispersion, and then skewedness and kurtosis.